In one part of the world, people earn $100 a day. In another part, people struggle to survive on just $1. So, why is there such a huge difference? There are around 200 countries in the world today, and the differences between these countries are extremely large in economic, social, technological, and cultural terms. Some countries have high living standards, strong economies, developed infrastructure, and solid healthcare systems. Others, however, live in poverty and hardship. This difference cannot be explained by money alone. It includes many areas such as education, healthcare, security, life expectancy, and access to technology. According to data published by the United Nations and the World Bank, only a small portion of countries enjoy high living standards. In these countries, annual income per person can reach between $80,000 and $100,000. This level of income allows people to live a wealthy life far beyond basic needs. In contrast, in the poorest countries in the world, annual income per person is below $1,000. This means daily income falls below $3. In some countries, a large part of the population lives on just $1 to $2 a day. This income gap does not only show how much money people earn, it also provides important information about how healthy people are, how much education they receive, and what kind of opportunities they have for the future. In countries with low income levels, poverty spreads into every part of daily life. Most people in the world live on less than $10 a day. This shows how unfair global income distribution really is. While people in some countries have no difficulty meeting their basic needs, millions of people in other countries cannot access enough food, clean water, or healthcare services. This inequality remains a major problem in our world today. Poverty does not simply mean a lack of money. Poverty also means a lack of opportunity. In low-income countries, people often do not have the chance to receive a good education. Schools are limited, the number of teachers is insufficient, and the education system itself is weak. This makes it difficult for children and young people to work in skilled jobs later in life. Poor education is one of the main causes of poverty, and it causes poverty to be passed from one generation to the next. In poor countries, access to healthcare is also limited. The number of hospitals is low, medical equipment is inadequate and outdated, and the number of healthcare workers is insufficient. Because of this, even preventable diseases can lead to serious consequences. High infant and child mortality rates are common in low-income countries. Health problems reduce people's ability to work and lower overall economic productivity. Lack of infrastructure is another important part of poverty. In many poor countries, roads, water systems, electricity networks, and communication infrastructure are inadequate. This negatively affects daily life and also limits economic activity. Businesses cannot operate efficiently due to transportation and energy problems. Infrastructure shortages slow down economic growth and make life more difficult at the same time. One of the main reasons behind economic differences between countries is the quality of governance. In economically developed countries, state institutions are strong and function effectively. Laws are clear and applied equally to everyone. Public resources are managed transparently and directed toward areas that benefit society as a whole. Education, healthcare, infrastructure, and scientific research all receive funding. In contrast, corruption is widespread in many poor countries. Public resources are not used for society as a whole, but for a limited group of people. Government revenues are not sufficiently invested in areas such as education and healthcare. Corruption directly prevents economic growth because resources are not allocated to where investment is needed, and overall welfare does not improve. Corruption also creates a serious problem of trust. When people do not trust state institutions, they are unwilling to pay taxes, avoid making long term plans, and hesitate to invest. This leads to a decline in economic activity. For this reason, countries with high levels of corruption often remain poor in the long term. A country's economic development is closely linked to how well it uses its human potential. In developed countries, hiring processes are usually based on knowledge, skills, and ability. Education level, professional qualifications, and experience are key factors. This ensures that the most productive individuals work in the most suitable positions. In poor countries, however, these processes do not always work the same way. Family ties, tribal relations, ethnic or religious connections can play a major role in hiring decisions. This causes talented individuals to be excluded from the system. As a result, a country's knowledge and skill potential is not fully used. Over time, this leads to lower production and slower economic growth. Education is one of the foundations of economic development. Educated individuals work more efficiently, create new ideas, and contribute to technological progress. Education also improves problem-solving skills and strengthens social harmony. In developed countries, investment in education is seen as a key source of long-term growth. In poor countries, education systems are often inadequate. School buildings are in poor condition, there are not enough teachers, and learning materials are limited. School dropout rates are high, and many children are forced to work at an early age. This prevents the development of a skilled workforce. Without education, technology cannot develop, and without technology, sustainable economic growth is not possible. The way societies see the world and understand life also affects economic behavior. In some societies, the belief that living conditions cannot be changed is widespread. This belief reduces the desire to make long-term plans, save, or invest. People keep their expectations for the future low and tend to accept their current situation. In economically developed countries, the idea that education and hard work can improve life is more common. People believe that with effort, they can change their economic and social position. This mindset encourages entrepreneurship and innovation. This cultural difference is one of the factors that shape economic development between countries. A country's geography also plays an important role. In tropical regions, diseases are more common and agricultural productivity is generally lower. Hot and humid climates can negatively affect both health and work efficiency. This makes stable economic activity harder to maintain. In some parts of Africa, certain insects spread serious diseases among livestock. This limits animal farming and harms agricultural production. When livestock farming cannot develop, mechanization also remains limited. This prevents production from increasing and slows technological progress. Countries without access to the sea face major economic disadvantages. Transportation costs are higher, and foreign trade becomes more difficult. The inability to use sea routes increases the cost of exports and imports. This limits participation in global trade and slows growth. Many landlocked countries in Africa and some in Asia experience low income levels for this reason. Natural resources do not always bring prosperity. Some countries rich in oil, gold, or diamonds still remain poor. Easy income can reduce investment in education and production. When resource income is spent on short-term needs, long-term development becomes impossible. Natural resource wealth can also increase corruption and lead to conflict. Disputes over control of resources often cause political instability. Economists call this the resource curse, a situation where natural wealth, if poorly managed, actually blocks economic progress. In the past, wealth was measured by land, military power, and raw materials. Today, wealth is defined by knowledge, science, technology, and high value production. Countries that innovate and develop technology hold stronger positions in the global economy. They earn more, invest more in people, and provide better living conditions. In the end, no country is rich or poor for a single reason. Wealth and poverty are shaped by many factors working together. Governance, education, institutions, culture, and geography all matter. Natural resources alone are not enough. Lasting prosperity comes from knowledge-based production, strong institutions, and a long-term vision.